Canada has universal health care. Bullshit. Daniel, I'm not going to say his last name, but I know I won't be able to avoid saying his name, is a friend of mine. He is a religious man, and as in he is a man of faith for his faith. He has cancer. He's been fighting it for a couple of years now, and he was informed recently by his oncologist that it has spread throughout his abdomen. And even with, if he gets chemo, he has maybe 2 years. If he doesn't, probably less than a year. So, what does Daniel do? Daniel discovers that in Canada, at least in Ontario, our universal health care, OHIP, doesn't cover a hospice. So a man dying of cancer with no place else to go is supposed to suddenly come up with a ton of money, because it's not like he hasn't had to be on assistance for the last few years since he can't work because he's dealing with cancer. So yeah, I'm pretty sure any reserves he had saved before all this started, they're long gone. Okay? Now, I'm going to do a GoFundMe. My husband and a friend of ours, Miriam, we're all going to do this as long as Daniel gives permission, because he's a very private person. And when my husband told me last night that he couldn't go into a hospice, it wasn't covered, he finished it with, if he's not, he could end up on the street. And before he was even finished the sentence, I said, he will not end up on the street. He will end up in your office. You will have your office moved out into the main room. Because you having your own office is your nice little man cave. That's wonderful. I'm glad to let you have it. But if he is going to end up on the street, you don't get it anymore. Only to find out a couple hours later that apparently, after talking to Daniel, even his family hasn't offered to do what I offered. So this is a problem I have with they're called Mr. Ballin, but his name is Mr. B. Allen, and being the juvenile things that humans are, they just started calling Mr. Ballin. Almost all the time in his stories, family come together, they support each other. Not that I've ever seen. And frankly, I think Hollywood and most of the stories that imply that have a lot to answer for, because I'd say over 90% of the families I've seen in the course of my life were dysfunctional.